How we all doing? Welcome back to my channel. I am God Elaway. We got a beautiful guest once again. Mind over Matrix, Matt. How you doing, boss?
I'm very good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a really good day so far, and we got a really good surprise for you guys. We're doing another interview style video, and we got another beautiful video coming out on Matt's channel as well. We'll discuss that a little bit later in the video. But yeah, so this is going to be an interview style video. Matt's going to be asking me some very thought provoking questions, guys. But you guys are going to have a blast. And keep an open mind. Keep yourself receptive. You may learn a thing or two.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought I'd go for thought provoking just to really sort of take it up that gear, see if I can catch you out with anything. But the first question that I have is, what is your opinion on fast success equals slow problems? Now, for people at home that might not know directly what I mean, the idea of kind of going all in on your manifestation or on your desire, and kind of leaving yourself to the wayside. What's your opinion on that kind of fast success but slow problems element of manifestation?
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like this does kind of tackle into the whole concept of what most of the community in this day and age, I feel like, focuses on, which is like the whole instantaneous side of things, like manifesting super fast, blah, blah, blah. And, guys, we're going to be discussing this more heavily on Matt's video. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. But I feel like people over-focus on the aspects of manifesting fast and not enough on the aspects of sustaining things. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it all kind of ties together. That's just my thoughts on the matter. I feel like if more people focused on the idea of being able to sustain the manifestation instead of just over-focusing on, hey, I can manifest anything in 3 days, I can manifest anything in a week, 24 hours, instant, blah, blah, blah. I feel like the community would be so much more better off. I feel like more people would be in a place of comfortability themselves and in a very specific place. I'm not getting triggered. I'm not reacting. Like, I'm able to sustain it. I'm able to sustain it. I am sustaining it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of constantly focusing on like the fast movement side of things. Just to wrap it up, it's kind of like the classic tale of the tortoise and the hare. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are unfamiliar with that, it's a children's tale from back in the day where an hare, very ego-driven, very logical-minded, very cocky, challenges a tortoise, I think it was a turtle, to a race. And, the tortoise / turtle ends up winning the race at the end because it kept itself disciplined. It kept itself in a place of sustainability, and it kept itself focused instead of just fast results, instantaneous results. And then the hare, being a very logical, ego-driven, cocky-based animal, right? It was so focused on the fast results, like, I'm so fast, of course I'm going to win, blah, 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 but it wasn't focused on the sustainability aspect of things. And in turn, the tortoise ends up winning the race. So I oftentimes think about that a lot when it comes to the manifestation and just manifesting super fast. And I feel like sustainability is the key.
Yeah, I'd 100% agree. I'm not going to go into it too much because, like I say, it's over on my channel. We got more of a discussion, but I like to think that, like, in most regards, those quick successes tend to come with those slow problems. I mean, most people that win the lottery, for example, you'll find that a couple of years later they end up in more debt than they were before they won, and things of that nature. You'll find that if you don't prepare yourself for something, that thing is too much for you, and then you end up losing it in the long run. Not always, obviously, but quite often. But vice versa. Right. If you prepare yourself, then you can be prepared to have it sustained. So yeah, great point. But that actually leads me quite nicely into my next question for you then, actually, since you obviously have the view on it that you should try to work on sustaining it. Is there anything that you're currently manifesting, or at least that you can remember manifesting, where you had to regularly check in with yourself, like your own doubts, your own fears? You wake up in the morning with maybe some anxiety that you had to kind of work through. Is there anything that you're manifesting or have manifested that you had to regularly check in on that sustainability side of things?
That's a really good question. Really good question. So as of right now, the things that I am currently manifesting, I've done a lot of work on myself involving them. I've released a lot of resistance overall, both energetically, spiritually, etc. The things that I'm currently manifesting right now, I don't really feel that I have much resistance involving it, at least on a surface level. If it is there, it's definitely not in a way where it's fucking with me on a logical level, if that makes sense. It's not fucking with me on a conscious-minded level. So as of right now, I don't think that there is anything, if I'm being totally honest, that I have like a lot of resistance to, that I feel the need to really, like, anxiety, or feel the need to really work through, if that makes sense. But as far as from the past, things that I have manifested, definitely. Financial situation, for example. I grew up in a very poverty-based mindset. I grew up in a very scarcity-based mindset, and it took a lot to overcome. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess there is some hints of that still come up every now and again, like the idea of, how am I going to pay my rent kind of deal? But I bring it back so fast that it's like, it's not really something that I dwell upon ever. But the financial aspect of things is one. My SP, for example, that was very problematic as well, because most of my life I was indulging limiting beliefs involving love and relationships, not feeling worthy, not feeling chosen. I held on to a lot of regret involving her specifically in relation. So that was something that I had to work through, and it didn't take too long, but it was something that I definitely had to work through. It created anxiety. I get thoughts every now and again, very rarely, but every now and again, what if she's hooking up with someone else? But I always knew in my heart that it was never the case. But the resistance, that's how it works, guys. It fucks with you on a conscious based level, but you got to do your best to kind of redirect it.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those things where the fact that it's come up isn't necessarily the problem. It's how you go from there. If you're dwelling in it from a place of, yes, this is my truth and this feels like I'm going to sort of dwell and like sit in it, then that's when it's a problem. But if you kind of notice it and go, oh, old self creeping up, let me just redirect it to a new self, or let me just sit with it for a minute to let it go more effectively, perfectly fine, because it's your dominant state. It's not, no one's perfect in any regard. If you had to be perfect to manifest, no one would really have anything. But it's one of those things that it's how you navigate it, not the fact that it's come up. But again, sorry, go on.
No, I was completely agreeing with you, 100%.
Awesome. That actually leads me again really nicely into my sort of third and final question then, is there like a particular red flag that you receive with clients that you work with? And I don't mean red flag as in like they can't manifest, but something that like you see semi-regularly where you're like, okay, this is going to be a hurdle. This is something that I know we're really going to have to address, and you would see as like a big, I put red flag just because it's the easiest way to term it, but obviously it's not like a red flag.
Yeah, no, that's dude, you come up with some really good questions. Shit. There's a couple of things actually, and it's pretty common when it comes to just people in general that have a lot of resistance and fears. The first thing is people that view through the lens of separation to a very high degree, and I noticed that a lot with people that I work with, and because I work with a lot of newcomers and people that are very new to this stuff. And, so naturally those types of people are still transitioning from the real world side of life into the truth, you know what I'm saying? Manifestation, the real reality and all that. So a lot of times those people have difficulty really overcoming that hurdle of indulging separation. The other thing is, of course, people that overfocus on the time and the how. Like, how is it going to happen? How is he going to reach out? How long is it going to take? Blah, blah, blah. And I think that obviously is a huge thing for a lot of people in this community. And the third and final thing is over-focusing on the physical reality and taking what is happening in the physical reality as absolute. I think, honestly, that's probably the biggest thing is people, they can't seem, I don't want to put this out there because they can, but when you're first hopping into this, it's like they can't really seem to understand that the physical reality is the representation of the past. It's not actually the 100% definitive reality. So those are the three things I guess you could call red flags and whatnot that I notice in people. And conveniently enough, I feel like they're the most common things that people have to deal with, in this community as a whole.
Absolutely. How do you address that then? Like when you say to them, like, do you kind of go, oh, I've noticed this big thing, I think we should tackle this first, or do you let them come up with, like, realize it on their own? Like, how do you, when you notice this red flag, how do you kind of take it from there?
So, as many of you guys know, I am very direct. I will straight up sometimes, and I let these people know that what I'm saying to you, I mean it from love, but it might sound direct. I'll let them know straight up what is going on. Like, no sugarcoating. I'll cut through all the grass and just tell them straight up. Like I do that with a lot of people. I find that approach can be, sometimes I'll ease my way into it. But many oftentimes it's very straight up. Like if I notice someone's indulging separation, I will literally straight up tell them through like a voice clip of something. You're focusing on separation. That's the problem. You're viewing through the lens of separation. You're focusing on time. Or I'll straight up ask them as like a way of getting their mind to kickstart a little bit. Why are you focusing on time in this moment? Like they'll ask me, oh, Joey, well, how long is it going to take? And my reply to them is the answer, and rather is another question, which would be, well, why are you focusing on time in this moment? Why are you choosing to focus on time in this moment? What within you is causing for you to focus on time in this moment? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel the directness is very, very beneficial a lot of times because it gets people gets their mind kind of kickstarted. Or if I answer and reply with a question, same thing, it gets their mind kickstarted to, okay, well, now I'm going to have to go within myself and figure this out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That's it from me. It seems like I couldn't catch you out with any of my questions, so I think you've answered them all great, and I think a lot of people could really take some use out of that. And even though obviously a lot of it was your personal experience, people look to sort of us coaches to say, how can we be like you? So hopefully by asking you more directly on your experiences, that will kind of give people that kind of like edge up to say, oh, if Joey regulates, then surely that must mean I should work on regulating also, sort of thing.
Exactly. That's a really good point. And listen, to all of you guys that have been watching this up until this point, so on, number one, be sure to check out the video that we have coming out on Matt's channel. We're going to be discussing the importance of sustainability and the importance of not allowing yourself to come from that toxic sense involving manifestation. And so stay tuned for that. And the second thing I want to say is, everything that I've shared here, my personal experience, how I go about things, take what resonates and leave the rest. Please keep an open mind, okay? Because Matt does have a point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here to inspire you guys. And, there's a lot of people that do look up to people like myself, Matt, and then many other people. And we're all human, guys, at the end of the day. We all go through our hurdles, coaches included. We all have our moments where we've had to engage with self-regulation, among other things, okay? So much love and peace to you guys.
Absolutely.
And thank you for joining as well.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It's a pleasure as always, and there will be hopefully many more in the future, as well as some other little ideas that we are going to discuss after this call. So you guys should definitely stay tuned for those in the future.
Definitely. All right. It's a pleasure. Feel free to reach out for Matt for one-on-one coaching. You can reach out to me. You can check the first pinned comment down below, guys. It will have all the information.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.